Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Ike's Outdoors. In today's episode we are going to review the long-awaited Range 6. This is the new offering from Bowtech. It came out earlier this year, January, probably around the time of the ATA show. As the name states, this has a 6-inch brace height. This is a 32 5/8 inch axle-to-axle bow. This has a 24 to 30 inch draw length. The 7-inch brace height version of this, I believe, goes out to 31-inch draw length. This 6-inch version is IBO rated for 350 feet per second. This bare bow weighs 4.3 pounds, a nice lightweight hunting bow. This has the overdrive binary cam on it. This is a redesigned binary cam. This looks like they've changed the geometry on it a little bit, and that's just, done a few things to kind of make it a little bit smoother, a little bit faster cam. This has the flip disc on here, and the flip disc is pretty cool because it's actually built into it not only is the power shift or the flip disc, it's actually your module too. So you have a comfort setting, you have a performance setting just by flipping those over, and then of course you can change your draw length with those as well. This also has the micro sync dial on here, which you can see right up here on the cam. What you can do with that is you can actually take that, you can loosen it up, and you can adjust that and make adjustments to it, and you can time this cam to exactly where you want it without having to go through all the old rigors of twisting cables and turning cables and doing things like that. So really nice technology on that new that new overdrive cam. We also have the CPX riser on here, wide limb pockets on here, so it's a nice stance on here. This also has a couple of, it's got a string stop on here. It's got a shock absorber or a dampener down here on the bottom, but there is not one on the top. It has your flex guard on here. It has a dampener on theirs as well. Now the one thing I noticed on this 6-inch brace height bow is the cables. You can see the cables right here are extremely, I'm down to hunting season. Hunting season's around the corner, and I'm down to I've got bows tuned and everything like that with other rests on it, so I put this Apache on this one. And this Apache is a little bit larger of a rest, but this cable's set really close. This flex guard is really short, so it sets really close to that, but I didn't have any issues with clearance on this Apache. So if you see this bow like in a shop or something like that, and it does look like the cables are really close, it wasn't an issue with me on this Apache getting the thing on there and set up. I didn't have any clearance issues or anything like that. I shot the bow all day yesterday and had zero issues with the cables sliding or cables hitting or having any kind of contact. So they look really close, but it's not really that bad. One of the other things that I like about it is now they have 4 holes in the riser for your sight to go into, and I actually installed it in the lower set of sights, or lower set of holes at first, and my bow was shooting really high. So I've had that with a Bowtech in the past, problems with that, and I had to change my anchoring point and just couldn't get comfortable with that bow because of it. So now we've got 2 mounts for your sight here, and I ended up moving mine to the upper sight, or the upper bracket on this, and actually had no problem sighting it in from there. So that is the specs on this new Range 6. We're going to take it over now, and we're going to shoot it through the chronograph. IBO rated for 350, so we'll see what we can get out of it. We'll do our draw force curve on it as well, and then we'll do a little bit of shooting with this thing. So let's go right over now and get the chronograph going. Alright, this is speed test number 1. This is on the comfort setting. This bow is set at 70 pounds, 27.5-inch draw, got 20 grains of weight on the string. And we're going to be shooting 3 different arrows. The first is a 350 grain arrow. .306. Arrow number 2 is my hunting arrow. This is a 450 grain arrow. .274. Next we have the heavyweight arrow. This one weighs in at 550 grains. 250. Okay, so because this bow has the flip disc on here and has a comfort and a performance setting, we're going to basically be doing 2 different sets of everything on here. The first one we're going to do here is we're going to shoot it with it on the comfort setting. And I found out one other thing. I didn't realize this. I looked right over the top of it. This is called the outrigger, and this is designed to optimize your balance at the shock. So that's what this little stabilizer, or that's what this weight and shock absorber down here is. That's why it's on the bottom and not on the top. So we're going to take some shots here with this on the comfort setting. And overall, you know, we'll talk about the bow overall, and then when we switch to the performance setting, we'll just mainly talk about the draw cycle there. Balance on this bow is really good. I'm really impressed with how stable this bow is at full draw. You get very little pin flow. Tuning on this bow was super easy. This overdrive binary cam is one of the most tunable cams you will ever find, and now that they've got the flip disc and the sync technology up here, you know, that really makes it that much more able to fine tune. The bow on the shot, like I said, is very stable. The grip is very nice. I love the grip on this bow. It's typical of the Bowtech. It's slim, it's rounded, it's real comfortable for your hand. Draw cycle is pretty good. On this is on the comfort setting. You'll build up pretty slow, come to the peak and hold it for a few inches, and then it drops off toward the bottom. On the shot, no noise, no vibration at all. The back wall on this thing is solid. It has a cable stop on here on this cam, but it is absolutely solid as can be. Let's check the creep this time. Got a little wind blowing my shop door closed. So let's check this creep. Little bit of cam lean in this. It's typical of a binary cam. Nothing to be alarmed about at all. Creep on this bow. Yeah, you can't creep too much with it, and it wants to go a little bit, even on the comfort setting. Wow, almost at Robin Hood and arrow. For a 6-inch spray sight bow, I love the stability of this thing. It is a shooter, not only in performance but also in accuracy. At 20 inches or 20 yards last night, I'm putting up an 1.5 to 2-inch group every time, and I may have Robin Hooded that arrow. If not, they are extremely close. Tunability is super easy. Accuracy is definitely there. Power is definitely there. This bow is a pleasure to shoot. It's fun to shoot. Really stable. Really forgiving. For a 6-inch spray sight bow, I mean, I'm absolutely putting up fantastic groups with this thing. And the draw cycle, at 70 pounds, this draw cycle, you see me test other bows at 70 pounds, I don't struggle nearly as much with this bow at 70 pounds as I do some of the others. Alright, so there is the comfort setting, and I got a group of arrows down there right now about that big around. There's got several of them that glanced off of each other, maybe even broke a couple knocks. I had some lighted knocks, and I see one that's not lit up, so maybe even broke a couple knocks with it. The accuracy on this bow is, for a 6-inch spray sight bow, it's one of the most accurate 6-inch spray sight bows that I've ever shot. This bow shoots fantastic for me, and even with the short 6-inch spray sight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch this flip disc over, and we're going to swap it to the performance setting, and we're going to basically redo everything again. Bowtech Rain 6 on the performance setting. The peak weight on this bow changed when I flipped it to the performance setting. It went down from 70 to 68, and all I did was change the performance, or change the flip disc. So now we're on 68 pounds. We're on 27.5-inch draw length. We got a peep and a loop, so we got about 20 grains of weight on the string, and we're going to begin shooting the same 3 arrows out of this bow. This is the 350 grain arrow. 316. This is our 450 grain arrow. .281, and last is our 550 grain arrow. .257. Okay, so now I've got it swapped to the performance setting, and I had kind of an anomaly that I've never experienced before even with these Bowtechs. Is I swapped that to the performance setting and it went from 70 pounds even down to 68 pounds. So I don't know what exactly happened there, but it did end up dropping a couple pounds on this performance setting, and I'm not sure why. That's all I did was change these around. Same draw length, same weight, everything. So not sure exactly why there, but you did see in the graphic the difference between the two. You know, your performance setting now comes up, builds up to that peak weight, and just holds that peak weight of 68 pounds for quite a bit longer, and then drops off at the end there. So all we're going to talk about this time around is basically the draw cycle, and it is a noticeable difference in the performance setting to the comfort setting. The performance setting, again, you got to climb that hill. So the performance setting, just a little bit rougher, but when you get it back, you're holding a little bit more weight when you get it back versus the comfort setting. But overall, it's not too bad. You can see I can sit here and hold this thing for quite a while. Creeping with this thing, yeah, it's going to want to take off on you. You're not going to want to creep. Back wall again is solid. See there, I'm getting tired. So it is a completely different animal on the performance setting than what it is on the comfort setting. And that's the beauty of this bow, is you can have two absolutely different setups on there. And you can see on my speed rating, I jumped from 10 feet per second on a lightweight arrow up to 316, which is a little bit short of what the IVO should be getting, around 320, 325. So about 5 to 10 feet per second slow on what it should be set at as an IV, or getting at an IVO setup. So, but drastic difference in the two bows. Two different, completely different animals. And that's the beauty of this thing, is if I need a bow that I want to set up for power, I need to get more kinetic energy out of it, you know, and I want to get a flatter shooting bow, I can swap this thing over to the performance setting. If I want to get a bow that's more for shooting 3D, more for shooting in tree stands where I could potentially be holding it for quite a while, you know, and I don't necessarily need the speed and the power because I'm only going to be shooting 20, 30 yards, then I've got the comfort setting. You notice that I'm struggling with it a little bit. Now we're getting into that. It really has that speedbow feel to it now. It really, really does feel like a speedbow on the performance setting versus the comfort setting. Beauty of it is it's still accurate. I'm still shooting fantastic. I could bump this thing down to 65 pounds, which is where I normally hunt. Probably be pretty dang happy with this setup and pretty comfortable with the draw cycle, and I'm still putting up the circle that I'm shooting in down there is 2 inches, and I got every one of my arrows inside that 2-inch circle right now. So just getting over that hump. Once you get over that hump, it's fine. Oh, smacking arrows. I mean, smack those two together. So that's the Bowtech Range 6, and man, this is a super nice bow. Really, really comfortable to shoot. Versatile. The versatility of this thing is outstanding. You know, if you want to go hunt hogs or elk or something like that, you can swap this thing over to the performance setting and you can get all the power that you need. You're going to be hunting in the Midwest like I am, hunting tree stands or doing a lot of shooting, competitive shooting, 3D shooting. You can swap this thing to the comfort setting and shoot it all day long. So outstanding performance, outstanding comfort, and looks great too. I love the way that this thing looks with the mossy oak camo here and the black limbs. I think it looks really cool. Just a super easy to tune. That overdrive binary cam is one of the most tunable cams that I've ever dealt with, and I've dealt with just about all of them at one point or another. So, outstanding bow from Bowtech, the new Rain 6. Be sure to check this out. Super nice bow, loaded with tons of technology and tons of really cool features. So check this out. We'll put a link to Bowtech's website in the description below. Check this out, the 6. They also have a 7-inch version of this bow as well. So check that out. Be sure to check out our partner, Full Drawn Addiction, where we have all of our reviews. They got some awesome hats and shirts and stuff like that. And be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Appreciate you guys watching.